check this out. If this isn't a little private oasis. What's up, guys? Back out on the trail. We're in Dolly Sods, West Virginia. It's going to be a beautiful trip. Nothing too extravagant today, nice and casual. We're coming out of the parking lot. We'll come across here. We're going to come up Little Stonecoal, Dunkenbarger. We'll camp up here by this creek. It's beautiful. Then back down Big Stonecoal, and then finish up coming back across Red Creek. Always exciting to be camping in places where there are warnings for live bombs. And apparently this was a testing ground back in the day, so they still find live ammo up there. Now we're off. It is great to be back in West Virginia, and in particular down at Dolly Sods, which is just about as good as it has to offer. And we're doing a section of the lower loop at Dolly Sods, and you park at the South Loop trailhead terminus. You got about 0.8 of a mile in along the Red Creek, and then you start off right away with a pretty significant creek crossing. Doesn't look like it's going to be too high today, and then it is a solid 1.25 miles uphill, part of the midweek quick sneak. So we just drove 3.5 hours down from Pittsburgh, and it's a good way to spend a Wednesday night. This is one of the creek crossings, not one of the ones that you really had to worry about. That one will be on the other side momentarily. And as sometimes happens, we're at the creek crossing down here and we can't find anything on the other side indicating a cairn or where we should go. And this is exactly what happened to us the last time we came here, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, way across there. There you go. That's what we were looking for. Off we go. Just about as beautiful as can be expected. All right, so a couple miles in, got the first river crossing out of the way. It wasn't as bad as it was the last time we were up here, but that's always a little dicey. And then it's about 1.25 miles straight uphill. And so we're taking a little breather right now. And I think we've probably got about, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile until we start looking for a place to set up camp. Thanks for joining us today. Reminds me of Maine almost, or Vermont, some sections, but it gets real tight. And then you'll see the more we're on the ridge here, as it levels off, the boggier it'll get. And you can get some mud here that'll definitely remind you of Vermont. You just got to be careful where you step on some of these, or they might not find you for a while. This is what I was talking about. It gets tight, and then you get down into those bogs, so you got nowhere to go. You can see what can happen. You don't have any room on either side, so your ankles are going to be in the mud. If I remember correctly, we should be working our way down here, and this should open up to a little meadow. So we came across this one. Now this is where we stayed when we came up and did this last year. But this is a great site. And I'll show you why I like it. Because you poke through here. There's Melissa. And then you've got this meadow. And that water's fine to drink. You just filter it, but that's from the tannins in the water. All right, guys, just grabbing some water. Absolutely beautiful spot here. And it's a new moon tonight, so it's going to be real dark. We should have a ton of stars up here, and we have this beautiful meadow and this gorgeous creek right here. So it's going to be a nice evening. Probably get the fire going shortly and get started on some dinner. Camp's pretty well set up. Just got started on firewood. Don't plan on hanging out all night long, but that's enough to get us going. And this place is getting popular, so you got to go a little further back. And I don't cut anything standing or anything like that. I'll just got a little visitor in camp. See if I can get her for you. There's our little visitor. She'll be hanging out with us tonight. Okay, so tonight I'm trying this Loma Linda pad thai, and this is just boil in a bag, so I'll fold this in half like I've done before with some other ones, and then I'll just set that in the water over there. I'll move that a little bit out of the way from the direct heat, and let that sit there for a while, and this should be good to go. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so this has been bubbling along for about 7 or 8 minutes, and I just have a oversized lid, so that's just deflecting the flame to keep it away from this bag because it's a boil in a bag. Gotta go in slow. Gotta go in slow with the Loma Linda pad thai. It's really not bad at all. We'll get the fire built back up, and I think we're gonna hang out in a little meadow up there when it gets dark and see what these stars look like tonight. Should be incredible. Beautiful night. Let's get some coffee on. This is easily one of the happiest sounds in all of backpacking. Right here. That means the coffee is going on. We'll pack up, and excited to do a new trail today, a section I've not done up here, so we'll be sharing that with you too. Join us for coffee in the forest, won't you? This'll do. And I was telling Melissa, it feels like we're camped in a botanical gardens somewhere. It's just incredible. All right, so we are all packed up. Camp is clean. Fire is doused. There's a creek right there, so a couple liters of water on top of the fire just to make sure that nothing spreads here, because this is beautiful. And I think we got about 3/4 of a mile to Big Stonecoal Creek Trail. Not so muddy through here, though. This is nice. Spoke too soon, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. All right, business as usual. Here, so as you come up to the creek, you're going to see these big campsites here. And you come out here, real sandy beach area. And this something. Yeah, that's about perfect. That's about perfect. We're really enjoying this section of trail. All kind of little waterfalls and stuff going along.
All right, guys. Gets any better than this? Let me know. How cool is that?
This is absolutely gorgeous. Come around the bend. Just huge wall of rock here. We found a few of these up here, but that's another fossil right there. That's the bark of a tree. That's what that pattern is. All right, so after a long descent, that's probably about 1.5 miles, we finally leveled out. And they say all shoes go to die in Pennsylvania. I think West Virginia on this trail is definitely keeping up its end of the bargain. All right, we've made it back down to Red Creek. Looks like that's our target over there. And just figuring out a creek crossing here. Looks like we'll be able to piece something together right over there, scoot across. So we cross the creek, and then you do get to this section where it's, I don't know if any of you have hiked in New York State or Maine, New Hampshire, but yeah, no trails like to go straight up and down. What a beautiful trip. Very challenging trail at some sections. For those of you that have hiked in New York State, up in the Adirondacks in Maine, New Hampshire, where, you know, uphill means a route, and then you're basically climbing the ladder of routes. There's a little of that on this. The stream crossings were, you know, they're always a challenge, but nothing too bad today. But I want to thank you guys for joining us on this one. What a great trip. Remember, be good to each other, be good to nature, and we'll see you back out on the trail.